Peter Schmeichel is considered as one of the greatest goalkeepers in football history, having won numerous titles and accolades during his illustrious career. However, many goalkeepers have attempted to replace the Danish legend, only to fall short of their expectations. In this video, we take a look at some of the most notable goalkeepers who failed to fill the shoes of Peter Schmeichel. Before we start, we want to encourage our viewers to choose the topic of our next video. If you have any good ideas, use the link in the description to submit a video title so we know what our audience is looking for. Peter Schmeichel is a former Danish professional footballer who played as a goalkeeper. He had a highly successful career, most notably at Manchester United, where he spent 8 seasons. During his time at Old Trafford, Schmeichel established himself as one of the top goalkeepers in the world and was a key player in the team's success. He won 5 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups and the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, among other honours. He was also named the Premier League's Goalkeeper of the Year 3 times and was part of the UEFA Team of the Year 4 times. Schmeichel's commanding presence, shot-stopping ability and aerial prowess earned him widespread recognition as one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. Once Peter left Manchester United, the team struggled a lot as they tried to fill his shoes. So let's talk about the goalkeepers who were once up for the task. Mark Bosnich. Mark Bosnich, the Australian goalkeeper, was initially allowed to leave Manchester United as a young player before making a return to the club as Peter Schmeichel's replacement. Bosnich had impressed during his 7-year stint at division rivals Aston Villa, which led to his return to Old Trafford. During his debut season with the club, he made 23 league appearances, contributing to Manchester United's Premier League win by a record margin. Despite this success, Sir Alex Ferguson was not fully convinced by Bosnich, who he described as a terrible professional in his autobiography. Unfortunately, the following season proved to be Bosnich's only as a regular at Old Trafford, as he was eventually demoted to third choice behind new signing Fabian Barthez and experienced goalkeeper Raymond van der Gaal. He eventually left the club in 2001 to join Chelsea, where his contract was later terminated due to off-field issues. Despite his impressive showing during his first season with Manchester United, Bosnich's performance gradually declined, leading to criticism and eventual demotion to the third-choice goalkeeper. Bosnich had several well-documented off-field issues, including substantial abuse, which led to the termination of his contract by Chelsea. But that's not all. Bosnich's career was plagued by injuries and suspensions, which prevented him from reaching his full potential and hindered his progress at both club and international levels. Bosnich was also known for his inconsistent performances, which made it difficult for him to establish himself as a top-level goalkeeper, and led to criticism from fans and the media. Massimo Taibi. Throughout the Premier League era, there has been many goalkeepers who have made high-profile mistakes and blunders. However, none have gained as much notoriety as Massimo Taibi. The Italian was signed by Manchester United in a £4.5 million deal to replace Peter Schmeichel, who had departed for Sporting Lisbon. However, Taibi's tenure at Old Trafford was short-lived and marred by mistakes. Despite making a strong impression in his man-of-the-match debut against Liverpool, Taibi struggled in his subsequent appearances, making just 4 league appearances in total. He quickly gained the nickname the Blind Venetian, due to his poor performances, which included a catastrophic error against Southampton and a 5-0 thrashing at Chelsea. These struggles ultimately led to Taibi's departure from the club and return to his homeland. Massimo Taibi's time at Manchester United was marked by many high-profile mistakes and failures. Some of his biggest blunders include howler against Southampton. Taibi's most famous mistake came during a game against Southampton, where he allowed a relatively weak shot to slip through his legs and into the goal. This error became one of the most memorable moments of his career and cemented his reputation as a goalkeeper prone to making costly mistakes. Poor performance against Chelsea. Taibi was part of the Manchester United team that suffered a 5-0 thrashing at the hands of Chelsea. He was largely at fault for 2 of the goals and struggled to command his area, leading to criticism from fans and the media. Limited appearances. Despite his big money move to Manchester United, Taibi made just 4 league appearances for the club, which was a far cry from the expectations set by his transfer fee. Fabian Barthez. After the struggles of the previous goalkeepers, Sir Alex Ferguson was confident in his acquisition of World Cup and European Championship winner Fabian Barthez from Monaco. Barthez arrived at Manchester United shortly after helping France win the European Championship, and despite his inconsistent performances, the fans quickly warmed to his eccentric style. He was known for his air of confidence and his willingness to showboat with the ball at his feet, often taunting opposition strikers with dribbles and stepovers. However, this style also led to some high-profile mistakes, including 2 costly errors in a defeat against Deportivo La Cuna in the Champions League. Additionally, he made a bizarre attempt to con Paulo Di Canio into thinking he was offside during an FA Cup defeat to West Ham, and he kicked out Ian Hart during a penalty, only to save the resulting shot. Barthez was known for his penalties relishing in mind games against opposition forwards, often waiting as long as possible before setting himself in goal. Despite helping United win the Premier League title in his debut season, he struggled in his second season, littered with errors and never fully regained his form. Eventually he departed for Marseille in January 2004. He also had his share of setbacks and failures. Poor form at Manchester United. Barthez signed for Manchester United in 2000 and was expected to be a solid replacement for retiring goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel. However, he struggled with form and consistency and was criticised for making costly errors, particularly during the 2002-2003 season. International disappointment. Barthez was a regular starter for the French national team, but he was also a key player in the team's disappointment at the 2002 World Cup, where they were eliminated in the group stage. Controversial behaviour. Barthez was known for his eccentric and often controversial behaviour, which sometimes drew criticism from fans and the media. For example, he would often play with his shirt untucked and kiss the crossbar before matches, which was seen by some as disrespectful. Roy Carroll. Roy Carroll joined Manchester United from Wigan Athletic to provide competition for Barthez, but despite spending 4 years at the club, he never established himself as the number 1 goalkeeper. Although he was part of the team that won the Premier League and the FA Cup, he was mostly a backup player during those triumphs. Carroll is best known for his infamous mistake during a game against Tottenham, where he dropped a shot from the halfway line by Pedro Mendes, which should have been a goal but was not recognised by the officials. This error marked a low point in his career at Manchester United. After leaving the club, he played for West Ham, Rangers, Derby County and Olympiacos. Another failure that Roy Carroll experienced was his time at Olympiacos in Greece, where he was signed to play as the first-choice goalkeeper. However, he struggled to adapt to the league and made several high-profile errors, leading to his eventually being dropped from the team. This period of poor form was a significant setback in his career and dented his reputation as a reliable goalkeeper. Despite his lack of success at Old Trafford, he continued his career and made a name for himself at other clubs. Tim Howard. Upon his arrival at Manchester United from Major League Soccer, Tim Howard was highly anticipated as the solution to the club's goalkeeping struggles. He made a strong start to his United career by saving the crucial penalty kick that helped the Red Devils defeat Arsenal in the Community Shield. Despite showing promise in his first season at the club, Howard's confidence was shaken following a critical mistake in the Champions League match against Porto, where he parred a late free kick and allowed the opposing team to score the equalising goal and eliminate United from the competition. The error of this impact was significant, and Tim Howard was never able to fully regain his confidence. He was eventually replaced by Roy Carroll and went on to have a successful decade-long career at Everton, away from the intense spotlight of Old Trafford. Some of his biggest failures include Champions League blunder. As previously mentioned, one of Tim Howard's most significant failures was his costly mistake in the Champions League match against Porto, where he parried a late free kick and allowed the opposing team to score the equalising goal and eliminate Manchester United from the competition. World Cup disappointment. Tim Howard was the starting goalkeeper for the US men's national team at the 2010 and the 2014 World Cups, but despite his best efforts, the team was unable to advance past the round of 16 in either tournament. Premier League struggles. Tim Howard spent a decade at Everton, but his time in the Premier League was marked by inconsistent performances, leading to periods of being dropped from the starting lineup. While these setbacks and failures were significant, they do not detract from Tim Howard's overall achievements and contributions to American and English soccer. He remains a respected and beloved figure in the sport and is remembered for his incredible athleticism, reflexes, and leadership on the pitch. Special mention to David De Gea. Manchester United went through some goalkeepers after the departure of legendary keeper Peter Schmeichel, but none of them were able to fill the void left by the Danish shot stopper. That changed with the arrival of David De Gea from Atletico Madrid in 2011. De Gea was a highly rated young goalkeeper when he signed for United, but he had a difficult start to life in the Premier League, struggling with the physicality and pace of the English game. However, he soon adjusted and established himself as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. De Gea's accomplishments at United include Premier League titles. De Gea was an integral part of the United team that won the Premier League in the 2012-2013 and 2018-2019 seasons. Save of the season. De Gea was awarded the Premier League Save of the Season award 4 times, highlighting his exceptional shot-stopping abilities. Player of the Year. De Gea was named Man United's Player of the Year in 4 consecutive seasons, a testament to his importance to the team. International recognition. De Gea has been a regular member of the Spanish national team since making his debut in 2014 and has been a part of the squad for multiple international tournaments, including the World Cup and the European Championships.